Hey everyone. I'm breaking from my traditional format for my videos because I want to deal with something that's in the news that most people have probably heard of, which is women against feminism. And I have a challenge for women against feminism because there's a difference between being an anti-feminist and being an anti-gynocentrist. Gynocentrism is not a word familiar to a lot of people, but it's a very important word, something we need to understand. Feminism has wrought all kinds of evil in the legal system, and they did that because of public approval. The legal system is very, very concerned with public attitude and maintaining some sort of confidence from the public. The public is actually not very aware of the influence they have upon the court system. But legal feminists were not doing very well in the courts until twit feminists, the social feminists, started to create a big public stir demanding action from the courts and from the politicians. And this is where they started to get their changes in place, things that allow for women to murder men without being punished appropriately for it. They couldn't have done this without the social support. So women coming out in public, speaking out against feminism, is an extremely important thing, and I support that. I'm really glad they're doing it. But I don't believe yet that they are anti-gynocentric, and there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. So here's the thing about anti-gynocentrism. I was asked on a forum, and actually it was somebody else being asked, but I answered the question for them. What has feminism done for men? And this was my answer, and I stand by it. Feminism became so absurd, so obnoxious, and so outrageous in their demands upon men who already sacrificed themselves for women. They are the protectors of women. Became so outrageous that men stopped playing. If feminism hadn't come along, if feminism hadn't done these things, become so obnoxious and become so horrid in the things that they say and this patriarchy theory they have, when it's obvious when you look at history, that men have always been asked to sacrifice themselves to save women. Women are not oppressed, they never have been. There have been disadvantages, but those were always balanced out to the detriment of men by the advantages they had. So what has feminism done that's good for men? Feminism has provided an opportunity for us to create a truly equal society, one in which women are not the protected class, not the princess class. Women can actually meet men as equals. They can contribute, they can build societies, they can learn how to do the things that keep those societies running, and they can actually stop princessing themselves out or demanding special treatment. And some of the signs I've seen in this Women Against Feminism show that that's what they want. And I applaud that behavior. Some of those signs are traditionalist, saying that they basically want to go back to a system where men took care of women, where men died for women and children. And women and men, I think, most likely would both want to die for children if they had good morals, because children are innocent and have their whole life in front of them, and you sacrifice yourself for somebody who's more vulnerable. Women are not more vulnerable than men. We have different strengths, but we are equals, and we can create a world that is truly equal. What we don't want to do is go back to a traditionalist world. So that's what feminism has done for men. They've given you a chance to break free from your chains, to break free from your cage. And I applaud Women Against Feminism, because women's voices are the only ones being heard, and unless we speak up, nothing is going to change. Feminists are going to continue to corrupt the legal system, replacing actual equality with this thing they call substantive equality. When feminists talk about wanting equality, when they use the word equality, it actually doesn't mean what you think it means. It means this created thing called substantive equality. And if you don't know what that means, research it, because that is what they're trying to install. We can't let it happen, and we can't let any movement that is taking feminism down continue with gynocentrism. We need a better world in the bigger picture. Not right now, not for these young ideological girls who are worried about whether or not a guy's going to marry them, not about these women who want to be protected still, and they're angry with feminists because the feminists are making them too responsible for themselves. We want to look at a world where women do truly take responsibility, and some of the signs on there talk about that. I've been criticized a lot because people think sometimes that I'm jealous of other women, or, you know, women have this sort of a competition with each other that is actually more extreme and more concerning to them than the competition they have with men. Women are actually always competing with each other. And my criticism of women has sometimes been said to be just a jealousy factor. It's not. I was never treated like a woman. I don't identify with women. And I suspect women, and most men's rights activists, would understand why. I grew up in their world. I know what their world is. I know what the world of women is, and I reject it. I am not a woman, and I don't have any sort of sisterhood with women. And from what I've seen growing up, I have less reason to trust a woman than I have to trust a man. There's a lot of men who aren't very good people. There's a lot of women who aren't very good people. But culturally, the way we were raised, women are devious, and we fear each other more than we fear men. That's the absolute truth. So women against feminism. I want to believe in you, but I don't fucking trust you. Prove to me that you're not gynocentric.